Namaskar, Adab, Shastrekal और Khushamdeed. Very, very good evening to all of you people. This is your master teacher Harsh Priyam, who is going to talk about in this video that how you can actually choose your best country that where you have to study. So basically, a lot of students, a lot of parents do aspire that their kids should go to abroad countries and study there. But aspiration is one part and reality is another part. In reality, you need to take care of a lot many points, a lot of things before deciding that in which country you actually want to go. On the first impression, it might look like that some countries, so say for example USA or Canada, they might look very lucrative because they have a huge earning potential, a very strong international presence, and a lot of working opportunities. But on the other hand, if you will get deep dive into it, if you'll dive deep into it, you'll find that there are certain challenges as well associated with almost all the countries. So which of those challenges you can overcome will depend on your situation, and hence it becomes very important that you should choose your abroad destination very wisely. In this video today, I'm going to talk about all those pointers that you must keep in your mind before deciding that in which country you want to go. Otherwise, you might end up spending thousands and lakhs of rupees in just visa application fees or partner recruitment fees or agent fees or something of that sort. Or probably you might never be able to get into that country, or even if you are able to get into that country, probably you might end up being an average mediocre someone in that country and not being able to fulfill your dream, what you have dreamt of after going into that country. So it's important that you take this decision very wisely, and hence I am here to help you in this very important decision. So let's get into the video and let me tell you which all important pointers you should keep in your mind. Before starting the video, if you have yet not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel, because on this channel you are going to get a lot of beautiful, mindful and resourceful content which you would cherish a lot, and this would be very helpful in for you in taking your decisions. Let's get into this video. Now, so first of all, I would start with this data, and this data is a very interesting data which shows that according to the World Migration Report 2024, India has the highest migrations in the world, nearly 18 million. Means every year 1.8 crore people migrate from India to outside India or across the world. And you would be very astonished to know that this data, so India is at number 1, second is Mexico, and let me tell you, Mexico has got a number of somewhere around 6 and 5, somewhere around 11, like less than 11 million. So you can very well imagine that India has got an international migrant number of 18 million. Second number is Mexico is at 11 million. Third is Russia. Russia also has got somewhere same 10 to 11 million. So rest, second position, third position, they are very close. But India is by far and by a great margin has the highest number of migrants traveling from India to abroad countries. This actually shows that India has got a huge amount of workforce, amount of people who are navigating, who are migrating out of India. Okay, so then this becomes very important that you should be very mindful while choosing your country or study abroad country, because see, this is the data, but there is a sad part to the story as well. Sad part is this news report. So 60% Canadians don't want immigrants. Will opportunities for Indians dry up? In fact, it has dried up. This is a story which is very humbly putting that people don't want Indians, especially Canadians don't want Indians anymore. In fact, there are the familiar rise of anti-Indian racism in Canada, and these all news reports are surfacing on the internet only because of the fact that Canada is now more populated than ever, and Canadians are finding more Indians in Canada compared to Canadians. And this is majorly because you are very much able to see that 18 million people every year move outside India, and most of them used to choose Canada, because Canada being a very easy entry, Canada has a very easy entry barrier and had almost the similar opportunities as what USA used to offer. And because of this, Canada has got a huge immigrant crisis situation at this very moment, and that's why Canada has closed its border. So now I hope you would be very clearly understanding the situation, why it is important that you should take your decision wisely, that which country you want to get into. Because if you would have taken a decision probably this year or the last year that you have to go to Canada, things would have been really bad. Now, so how to choose the best destination? So few pointers. So the first pointer is your field of study. Now, when I say field of study, why is it important? Is it because only important because you should have a passion or an interest in that field of study? That is one parameter, but that's not all. So the major reason, just see this news report. It will open your eyes. So Germany has a special work program for Indian nurses. Now, this entire news I have gone through, this entire news article. The most important pointer of this news article is that Germany is facing a major nurse shortage with around 500,000 more nurses needed by 2030, nearly 5 lakh nurses, due to rising demand and an aging population. Now, this is a very big problem. Only India and China, in fact, not even China, only India is the only country which is the most young country in the entire world. It has got a very young population. Average age is between 25 to 35 years of age. You can very well imagine that only India has got that capacity to supply young workforce to the entire world, and that what India is doing great right now. So Germany has got an aging population. They need workforce, they need healthcare professional who can take care of their aging population, and hence a very steep rise in the demand for nurses. Now, what Germany has done, so first of all, Germany is opening its door for nurses, especially Indian nurses. The Triple Win program, launched in 2013, helps qualified nurses from countries like India, especially Kerala, the Philippines, and others to move to Germany and work with top healthcare employers. In fact, there was one more pointer here in this report, that German government has launched a program where they are making the entire nursing education completely free of cost. They are not charging anything from people migrating outside Germany, who are migrating to Germany for nursing courses. They are giving that nursing courses absolutely free of cost, no entry barrier, and once they are done with that nursing courses, they can get a job in Germany itself, so that their 500,000 job requirement gets closed as soon as possible. So now just imagine that if you will be choosing nursing as your career of field, then for sure it is very sure that you will get a job, and especially if you are ready to move to Germany, they will teach you for free of cost. They'll give you your entire education free of cost, and then they will employ you as well. That's a win-win situation. So in the same fashion, if you choose other countries like wrap up, America can and will become a global leader in the field of artificial intelligence. America is wrapping up for a huge comeback or a huge big bang in the field of artificial intelligence, because AI is rising like anything. Similarly, France seeks skilled foreign workers to fill growing job vacancies in key sectors. There is increasing demand for professionals in areas like IT, healthcare, and engineering, offering good job opportunities for those seeking work. France is also going through an acute shortage of workforce, especially in the technical field, in the qualified field of healthcare, IT, and tech and engineering related jobs. So just imagine that if you learn AI pretty well and you try to move to France, or if you are willing to move to USA, will you get a job? Absolutely yes. There are plenty of jobs waiting because they are not getting skilled workforce. So if you are a skilled worker and you are ready to work, ready to go abroad, these countries are waiting for you. Now, if you are able to find this demand supply mismatch, if you are able to find that where there is a mismatch, or where there is a huge demand but the supply is less, and you just jump in on that right place at right time, for sure you'll be getting a job, and that for sure your education would also be very much subsidized. Hence, I was saying that you should choose your field of study very carefully. So, tech and IT, Now, if you are planning to go for tech and IT, the most sought after countries could be USA, Germany, or Canada. Fine, although Canada is not a go-go country as of now, because it has got a huge immigrant crisis, and that's why Canada should be avoided for at least next 5 years. Canada can be a no-no, although it's not a bad country. In fact, it's a very beautiful country, a good country to live in. But at this current moment, there is a lot of hate in Canada, for especially for Indians. Next is business. If you want to go for business, UK, USA, and Singapore is a very good destination. Although here you should take care, or you should be precautious while going to UK, because UK is right now going through a financial crisis, and the situation in USA is going worse day by day. Things are not working out, prices are going pretty high, their debt has risen like anything. So all these factors are adding to dismal situation, and hence the jobs are reducing pretty drastically. So hence UK should be avoided for next 5 to 10 years, till the time we don't get a green signal that okay, UK has come back out of its debt trap. Till that time UK should be avoided. But here at this point of time, Singapore could be a very good destination, because Singapore is having a lot of international investments, a lot of venture capitalists, angel investors. They all are staying in Singapore, so Singapore has got a huge potential. Next is healthcare segment. Here Germany, South Korea, Australia, Sweden, these all countries are very good destinations. In fact, Germany being the best, a lot of job opportunities are there, especially in the healthcare field. Sweden is again rising pretty fast, and South Korea and Australia is also there. Next is engineering. So Australia, Germany, and Netherlands, they are working pretty great. And arts and design, here Italy, France, Spain, and Germany, especially Spain and Italy, is working pretty great here. Okay, because here you will find a lot of rich class people. So there are people who can actually appreciate art, because art can flourish only in those places where the people are having a taste of art, and at the same time they have money to spend on art. So these countries are quite prosperous countries. They have money to spend on art, and they are having taste of art as well. So art and culture, or art and design, can flourish in these countries. So now, in these fields, if any one of you are planning to go into these fields, you can choose countries accordingly, and that will help you in getting job and good education opportunities as well. Now moving forward, but how do you determine whether your field is in demand in a specific country or not? So that I have already taken care. But look for countries with skill shortage in your field. That's what I said right now. And development in that field you should monitor. Okay. Next is check the skilled occupation list. So this is also one of the methodology. Now what happens, that every country has a skilled occupation list. The name might change country to country, but some countries do have skilled migration list. Some countries do have a report of labor force report. Some countries do have workforce annual report, something of that sort. But every country do have this list. Now what this list does, so the skilled occupation list, SOL, is a list of occupation that are in demand and can qualify individuals for a skilled work visa. Skilled work visa. So every government makes this report, so that if anyone from another country is trying to get a visa of their country, and they are trying to do a job in a field which is in high demand right now, and there are less number of people to actually fulfill that field or fulfill that demand, so then the chances of visa approval becomes really high. And that is why you should check for this list of occupation in that SOL, skilled occupation list, that which list of occupations are mentioned there. And if you are going to tell to that visa officer that I'm trying to get a job in this field, or my education is going to be in this field, then your visa acceptance chances are pretty high. Second is helping them to determine. Second is, before choosing a country or a program, checking the skilled occupation list tells you which fields are in high demand. This helps you pick a course that leads to real job opportunities. Mostly you can find such list on the government website of this country. So every government website, every country, every government of every country do publish this list. Okay. Now moving forward, for example, Australia has a skilled occupation list named with ANZSCO codes that have skilled occupation list. Okay. This means your field is in likely and better job opportunities. If you are studying nursing, software engineering, or civil engineering in Australia, these jobs fall under high demand. So even if you are trying to get a job in the field of civil engineering, which is not in that great demand in India, you will get a job in Australia, because civil engineering is in great demand in Australia. People are not opting for civil engineering there. Even software engineering, which is in great demand in India as well, there also you have a great demand. And nursing is a kind of demand which most of the countries, most of the prosperous countries do have this demand of nursing. Fine. Now moving forward, second is return on investment. Now return on investment is something which each and every individual, every parent, every student must think before getting into any country. Why am I saying this? See, education these days is not an easy game. In fact, it's not a cheap game at all. You need to spend a lot of money, especially in international education. You need to spend a lot of money. So say for example, if you are spending something around 50 lakh rupees or 1 crore rupees or whatever XYZ amount, if you are spending 50 lakh rupees and after 4 years or after 2 years or whatever period of study is there, after that you are getting a job of 10 lakh rupees. Now would you be willing to spend that 50 lakh rupees? Because there could be two methods. That first, you might be having that 50 lakh rupees already in your bank account, which is very less likely, because if a student or if a family does have that much amount in their bank account, their student or their kid might not be willing to work in abroad country just for some mere salary, something of that sort. But let's assume that you have that in your bank account, or second case, that you might not have that in your bank account, so you will be taking a loan for that 50 lakh rupees. So in that scenario, if you are taking a loan of 50 lakh rupees from any bank or any NBFC or any organization, institution, and you are getting a salary of 10 lakh rupees per annum, how long would it take you to repay back that 50 lakh rupees? And it would be almost impossible, isn't it? So would you ever be considering that opportunity or option of studying abroad by giving 50 lakh rupees and getting a job of 10 lakh rupees? Obviously no. So then it becomes very important that you should see the job market of that particular country before entering into that country, isn't it? So tuition, living, travel and hidden expenses. So just say for example, if you go to UK currently is giving job opportunities as an average engineer, like software engineering, is getting somewhere around 50 lakh rupees per annum salary, average Indian rupees. Now in this 50 lakh Indian rupees, the cost of doing an engineering in UK, it costs somewhere around 10 to 15 lakh rupees per annum. Now that makes a 40 to 60 lakh rupees of your education cost. But the most unknown factor or the most surprising part is that UK has got such a high cost of living that you need minimum 12 lakh rupees per annum to stay in UK, especially in London area or the area nearby. Now just imagine that if you have chosen a degree to for studying in UK and especially in London, so in London you will be getting, like, you will be needing somewhere around 12 lakh rupees per annum. Apart from that, you have a fees of education, tuition fees of somewhere around 10 lakh rupees. You get a 22 lakh rupees annual. That gets multiplied with 4. So you get a 88 lakh rupees of total expense for your 4 years of degree. Some XYZ expenses, some hidden expenses would be there. So let's assume it touches somewhere around 1 crore rupees. Now if you have got a 1 crore rupees of loan on your head, you're getting a salary of 50 lakh rupees per annum. Would it be very motivating for you? Obviously no. So then it becomes very important for you to actually consider all these factors, that your living, your travel, your hidden expenses, your tuitions, compare that with your average salary in your field after graduation and check if all education loans or repayments are available, then only go for it. Okay. So total education cost, then your potential first year salary, then compare long-term earnings, and here if you are able to repay back your 100% of loan within 2 to 3 years of your education, then it's a good return on investment. If with that amount of money you won't be able to repay back, because see, so just now I gave an example of that you are having a loan of somewhere around 100 lakh rupees, like 1 crore rupees, and you are having a salary of 50 lakh rupees. So first of all, in this 50 lakh rupees, entire amount will not come to your pocket. Something would be taxes, then some amount would be required for you to live in that country, because already the cost of living is 12 lakh rupees. So 12 lakh rupees, assuming 12 lakh rupees would be spent in taxes, or say for example like 5 lakh rupees, let's assume minimum. So even if I remove that only 15 lakh rupees, then you'll have 35 lakh rupees. In that 35, will you be able to repay back 100 lakh rupees in 3 years? Very difficult, but yes, probably yes. So should you choose this? Probably if I would have been at your place, I would not have chosen this. I would have chosen a better return on investment country. So you should see that whether you are able to repay back your 100% of loan within 2 to 3 years or not. If your less than 100% repayment is done in just 2 to 3 years, then you should avoid that country. Okay, so that's a rule of thumb that you should actually take care. Now moving forward, I have given a list of few of the countries. What is the cost of living of that country? What is the fees, average fees of the college in that country? Obviously, this has not accounted for scholarship. If you get some scholarship, or if your tuition fees is covered, or if your living expenses is covered because someone of your relative lives in that country, then obviously that's another case. But if you are going completely on your own, you have to add these two fields, and then you have to compare it with your average salary. Now, your average salary, in an ideal case or in a good case, your average salary per year must be equal to the 4-year cost of living and your fees. This should be a very good situation. Like if you have earned, if you have spent 1 crore rupees in 4 years and you are getting 1 crore rupees per annum salary, it's a good thing. But it generally does not happen that way. So let's see what is happening here in USA. So in USA, cost of living is around $800 to $1,500 per month. Now let's assume that I am having $1,000 per month. So 12 into 1000, so it will be 12,000 US dollars per annum. And my fees per year is around 30,000 to 60,000. I'm assuming a middle figure. Let's suppose 40,000, 40k per year dollar, 40k and 12,000. So that makes 52,000 US dollars per year is required. This is 52,000 US dollars. Now my initial starting salary would be 68 to 103, like 68, no, sorry, 80,000 US dollar to 120,000 US dollar. Now, if I land into a job of somewhere around $100,000 per year and 52,000 US dollar is my per year expenditure, I would not be in a very comfortable position, and hence choosing US should be with a caution that whether will I be able to repay back my my education loan and living expenses loan or not. And if you are getting an option where your living expense is lower than the average, your education fees is lower than the average, and your average salary is higher than the average, then it's a go-go situation. Otherwise, you should avoid this. Similarly, you should choose you should look for other countries as well. So just as an example, Germany. Why most of the Indians these days, they are not choosing USA or Canada, they are rather choosing Germany. Why they are doing it? Just see here. So Germany has got a 600 euro, 150 euro to 600 euro of monthly expense. Sorry. Let's assume 300 euro. So if I'm assuming 300 euro per month into 12, that makes 3,600 euro per year. 200 to 5,000. I'm assuming somewhere around 1,000, or like let's say 1,400 to make it a round figure. I am assuming 1,400 euro per year would be the fees. So 1,400 and 3,600. That makes 5,000 euro per year would be the expense for studying in Germany. 5,000 per year. Now the average salary in Germany is 65,000 to 85,000. I am assuming a middle figure, 70,000. Now just imagine that you are spending 5,000 euro a year and you are getting 70,000 euro a year. Even if you multiply this with 4, because that's a 4 years of cost of education and cost of living, 20,000 euro you will be spending and you will be getting 70,000 euro. Is it a good return on investment? Absolutely great, isn't it? This is fantastic. That is the biggest reason why most of the Indians these days, they are choosing Germany over any other country. They are not going to USA, they are not going to UK, they are not going to Canada, because in all these countries, the cost of living, the cost of education is pretty high. The cost of earning, in fact, the average salary has gone down massively because a lot of Indians have gathered in these countries. So that is why China becomes a sure, like completely win-win situation. Similarly, you can go, you can evaluate these countries as well. But before going into any of the country, you should evaluate countries. So I have given a long list: France, Netherlands, New Zealand, Japan, Singapore. You can just check out this data and it will help you a lot. In fact, I can suggest you one more thing. If you are really seriously looking for studying abroad and you need some help, you need some data, you need some guidance, my team is there who can actually help you out. So I have given in the description box, I have given a link. On that link, if you'll click, you need to just fill all your details, your name, your requirement, which country you are planning, or if you don't have any planning for any country, you just you are looking for some help so that someone can tell you that this is the best country for you. So any such type of guidance, any help in that matter. So I have a team of like my team of counselors who would be very happy helping you out. So you can just fill out that Google form in the description box. A call from my team would be on your way in a span of like 24 hours to 48 hours, and then you can get all the help, whatever you need. You can just ask for that help from them. Okay. Now moving forward, that link is in the description box. How welcoming is that country to Indian citizens? That is again a very important part, because see, if you are going to any abroad country, any new country, you will have to manage with a lot of things, and at that particular point of time, if the citizens of that country are hostile, they're not very welcoming, then it would become very tough for you to sustain in that country or to do something good in that country, because you are moving to any other country to earn your livelihood, to make your life better. You're not going there to make your life pathetic, isn't it? So hence, this becomes very important that whether that country has a welcoming citizenship or welcoming diaspora or not, it is important to be considered. Okay. Now, so just as an example, I gave you right now that Canadians these days hate Indians because there are so many Indians. That's why. So if you are planning to go to Canada, obviously they would not be liking you. Hence, it's not a good decision. Now moving forward, more Indian professionals are choosing New Zealand over other countries like Australia for better migration opportunities. In fact, in New Zealand, you will find very welcoming population there. But in Australia, you will find a lot of racist kind of mindset of people. They are not so welcoming, especially for Indians, because a lot of Indians are staying there, have been staying there for a long period of time. So Australians are not very positive for Indians. Okay. Moving forward, in 2024, India became the top source of work and student visa application to New Zealand with 34,988 work visa and 72,000 student visa applications, up from 61,500. So people are like students are increasing massively in these countries: New Zealand, Germany, Finland, Luxembourg, Sweden, France, Italy, so Singapore. So these countries are kind of becoming favorite destination for Indian students. Next is, as of 2023 census, Indians are now the third largest ethnic group in New Zealand. See, they have become the third largest ethnic group in New Zealand. Can you just imagine that? Their median income is 51,600 New Zealand dollar, is higher than the national average, and over 40% hold professional and managerial roles. Can you just imagine this? That the median income of Indians is higher than the national average, and 40% of the 40% of those Indians hold professional or managerial roles. Means they are leading New Zealand people. They are managers of people who are native to New Zealand. So that obviously Indians are very rock solid, tough from the bottom. They are real hustlers, real achievers, good brain. So they can obviously do outstanding job. But here New Zealand is also providing good opportunity, and the citizens there are very welcoming for Indians. Hence this entire situation, isn't it? Now moving forward, Indian nationals led to the net migrants arrival, non-New Zealand citizens contributing 21,500 arrivals, double the figure 2019 before COVID-19. Okay? Now country, total number of international students, total number of Indian students, percent of Indian students. Now you'll be able to see Germany, UK, USA, Australia, France, Netherlands, New Zealand, Japan and Singapore. Just see the percentage. Here the highest percentage is 29.4% in USA. So USA has been an old country. Since a long time, students have been migrating to USA. That's why the percentage is higher. Now, Germany has got a total number of international students 3,80,000. 43,000 of them are Indian, 11%. But these numbers are rising. Singapore has got a 21% share of Indian students, Indian international students. Similarly, all these countries, they might not be showing a good percentage, but here you should choose those countries which has a very less number of percentage of Indian students. So just an example, 1.98%. Which country is this? France. France has got 4.3 lakh international students. Out of them, only 8,500 are Indians. Means Indians are not in majority there. Hence, the opportunities there would still be more for Indians. Means there is still a demand which has yet not been catered. So there you can find opportunities. 1.98%, 2.73%. Here you will get a good demand. Netherlands, 1.28 lakh international students, out of which only 3,500 are Indians. A good opportunity here. Next goes for this, UK is fine. Germany has got 11%. Sorry, 0.54%. I did not see this. This is Japan. 2.8 lakh students, Indian international students, only 1,500 of them being Indian. 0.5%. 0.5. That's very low. So these three countries could be your top destinations: Japan, France, and the third one being Netherlands. These three could be your top destinations if you are trying or if you want to study in abroad countries. Fine. Now moving forward, Indian students numbers in US, UK, Canada dropped by 40% in 2024. US, UK and Canada dropped by 40% because they are overpopulated with Indian citizens. Next, while Germany and New Zealand sees record high numbers. That's what I said right now. Okay. Next is France launches second edition of Classes Internationals to welcome 30,000 Indian students by 2030. France is also opening its door for international students, especially Indian students, and that's what you are able to see here. France has got 1.98%. Earlier this was very low, just like Japan. Okay. Now moving forward, fourth is the basic criteria for critical decision making. And what is that basic criteria for critical decision making is, first of all, language. You should always see that whether the language of that country, will you be able to learn it or not, first part. And second part, that how much acceptability is there in that country for English as a language. So say for example in Germany, German is spoken normally, commonly German is spoken, but English is also accepted. In UK and USA, since a long time, since English has been their normal local language also, that is why Indians and people across the globe have been very easily migrating to these countries, because English is a common language here. But if you are able to learn a language which is native to that country, then it would be very easy for you to gel up with the regular crowd of that country. So say for example, France has a very low percentage of Indian students. Why? Because French is the common language here. So if you are able to learn French, that would be very easy for you to get into that country, because it has got a very low percentage of Indian diaspora. Next, Netherlands, Dutch and English. New Zealand, English. Now here, this is a very lucrative option, because in New Zealand, normal language of communication is also English. So it's it's an easy task for you, a cakewalk. Japan, here Japanese and English, but Japanese is the most common thing. And Singapore, English and Malay. So English is a common thing there, but Malay is also spoken there. Fine. Next is potential income during studies. So this is also a point of consideration, because most of the students go there on their own. They don't take help from parents or from banks or something of that sort. Hence, most of the students do have to do part-time jobs while studying there. So hence, cost of living and part-time wages, what are the opportunities there, you need to see before going into that country. Germany has got a cost of living of per month of around 14,000 to 50 or 56,000. But it has got a part-time wage of somewhere around 88,000 to 92,000. Means you would be able to earn better and live better in Germany during your studies also. So this shows that is why most of the students are planning to go for Germany. On the other hand, UK has got an average cost of living of 60 to 70,000. Earning is also nearly 70 to 90,000. Means nearly equal. USA 70,000 to 1.2 lakhs, but earning is pretty low, isn't it? Australia 72,000, 1.3 lakh, but earning is pretty low. That is why these countries are losing its dominance or their popularity among Indian students for study abroad destination. Fine. Now moving forward, so all these countries you should consider. You should see the cost of living and the part-time wages, and then you should take a call. Next is your college. Along with the country, the institute you get into should also be a major factor in your decision. Don't choose a low-ranked college just for the sake of going abroad, because that is going to hamper your career for the next 40 years. So try to choose a college which is good enough. Although choosing the best college might not also be a very good decision, because obviously if you'll be choosing the best college, getting into that college would be that much tough. So say for example, if you have chosen Harvard University. So Harvard University, Stanford University, these are Ivy League colleges. going into these colleges are equally difficult as going into an IIT. So in the same fashion, it would be very difficult for you also to get into those colleges, because students across the globe are trying to get into Harvard, Stanford, MIT, something of that sort. But you should also not choose a college which is very low level and does not have a ranking, because if you get passed out from that college, you won't be getting a job easily. So choose a college very wisely. It should be well ranked college, not very high, not very low, but it should have a job potential. Next is your college. So there are a lot of colleges. So in fact, in Germany, there are total 4 colleges with top 100 ranking in the QS World Ranking. New Zealand has got only 1. USA has got 25. UK has got 15. France has got 5, Australia 9, Netherlands has got 3, Japan 3, and Singapore 2. So from these universities, you might choose one of the university. If you are planning to go to Japan or Netherlands or Singapore or New Zealand or Germany, you can get some of these colleges, which are not very top colleges, kind of like all world rank top 10, but they are into top 100. So even rank 80, rank 70 colleges would also work good, isn't it? Now, so long-term settlement considerations should also be made. If you are going to any country after your education, in most likely cases, you would like to stay in that country, because if you have spent your 4 years, you will build a relationship in that country. You'll build a relationship with the citizens of that country. You'll find yourself more comfortable in that country. And if that happens, obviously after your education, you would try to stay in that country. So whether that country is allowing international migrants to stay in that country after their education is also an important consideration. And what would be the scenario after your education, like once you are into job? What is the taxation policy? What are the rules? What are the job markets? These are important considerations. So, say for example, when choosing a country, it's important to think beyond the education. If you are planning to live and work abroad after graduation, here are the key factors. Post-study factor is post-study work visa, whether you get a work visa easily or not. Just like in USA, getting a work visa is very difficult, very, very difficult. That's why people don't choose to study in USA. So 12 months STEM optional, extension 24 months. So they give a 12 months of extension. Like once you have completed your education, you just get only 12 months to find a job. If you don't get a job in 12 months, you are out of the country. But similarly, in Germany, this is 18 months. Job seeking visa after graduation. In UK, it is 2 years. In Australia, it is 2 to 3 years. So that is why people would always want to get into a country where the time frame is a little higher. Okay. Next is post-study work visa, then visa extension, then permanent residency. Like how easy it would be that if you work there in that country, you like that country, you stay in that culture for a very long period of time, and now, say for example, you decide that you want to live in that country, you want to be a permanent citizen of that country. So whether that country is going to give you that PR or not, that is also an important consideration. Okay. And next is tax burden. What is the taxation system of that country? So I have assumed that a person is earning 50 lakh rupees per annum. This is in rupees. So if a person is earning 50 lakh rupees per annum in that particular country, how much income he or she would be able to take home? So take home salary 34. So 50 lakh would be 34 lakh rupees in Germany. In UK, it would be 39 lakh rupees. But mind it that UK has got a very high cost of living. So even if the take home salary is high, the cost of living is pretty high, and hence UK is not that great option. So hence you should also take into consideration that what is the cost of living of this country, which I have already given in the previous slide. You should download this PPT, and after downloading you can compare cost of living and take home salary. That would be very helpful. So all these countries take home salary I have given here, the highest being in Singapore, although Singapore is also a very expensive country to live in, but you can take your call based on these parameters. Okay. So recommended research methodology. So what are the recommended research methodologies? So connect with the students on LinkedIn who are currently studying or having graduation from that country. They will give you a fair picture. Ask them how is the life there. Then is it easy to find part-time jobs there? Are you getting paid enough for a part-time job? What kind of job did you get after your graduation? How much are you earning now? Was the degree worth the time and money? So these type of questions you can ask from those students or working professionals who are studying in that particular country. You can find this very easily on the LinkedIn. Once you go there and you just write the name of that college where you're trying to study, you'll get a lot of people especially from your region. If you're staying in India, you'll get a lot of people from India who have studied there on that college. So I just tried writing Harvard. I got a lot of people studying in Harvard in India, means who have studied in Harvard. So now I can connect with them and I can get some idea. Okay, so the same way you can also do some research before getting into any country or any college. Fine. Now, always check for information directly from university websites, government portals for visas, scholarship, work permits. Don't fall into the trap of false website or misleading content. They will ruin your entire savings, your mindset and everything. Next is platforms like Yocket, the Student Room, Reddit, Study Abroad help you ask questions, clear doubts and read genuine reviews and from your fellow applicants. Okay, fine. So ladies and gentlemen, that was all for this video, for this session. I hope you liked the content. I have given you more study abroad doubts. Click in the link below. I have given you that link in the description box where you can get a help from my team of counselors. They would be very happy helping you with your doubts, and they would be guiding you fairly well that where you should go and which country or which college you should choose for your study abroad destination. Okay. So that was all for this session. I hope you loved and enjoyed it. Please drop down a comment if you like the content, and drop down a comment if you need any other further help, any other further coverage on any other topic. I would be very happy to help. With this, it's time to say goodbye. See you all in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. Take care. Good night.